Hello everyone, Joel here, and just to quickly introduce this, you know when you've had one of those jobs that seems to take forever to get started, to do anything with and then complete? This has been this video. I really struggled after completing the podcast and putting that out, that trying to get this out on YouTube was an absolute pain in the backside, to be frank. I lost enthusiasm a lot of times. I lost my cool a lot of times with it, but I now finally finished it. So this is a video alternative of the podcast that featured Nick Shaw, the designer. It's actually been cut down quite a lot. There's about an hour's worth of content I've taken off, not because it's boring or anything like that. It's just that I didn't want to spend over 2 hours of video editing when 1 hour took me about 3-4 weeks to do at this rate. So if you do want to check out the rest of what we had to say about the games and things like that, and there was a lot more we talked about, then head over to a podcasting site and download the podcast there and listen to the extra hours worth of content. So let's get on with this podcast. Right.
As if Gloomhaven wasn't big enough.
Everyone recording?
Yeah, I'm recording, yeah.
Do you want to clap?
Recording? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Wow, that's in sync.
That was beautiful.
Oh, was I supposed to clap?
Yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1, clap.
3, 2, 1, clap and then clap.
Yeah.
I was trying to get in sync with you lot. Anyway.
Sounds in time.
Near enough?
Near enough. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, dear listeners. This is episode 78 of the Devon Dice Podcast, recorded on the 12th of April, 2020. I'm your host, Joel Wright, and joining me tonight is our second special guest of the Lockdown series. It's Nick Shaw, aka the designer of Welcome to Dino World and Roll and Roam? Roam and Roll.
Roam and roll, yeah.
Roam and Roll. Welcome, Nick.
Hello.
And yeah, we got Lewis as well.
Yeah. I thought I'd better come on and correct you on a few mistakes you made last time. So,
so yes, we're still in this lockdown phase of the pandemic sweeping the world. So, and we also got Nick.
You're like a solo specialist, Nick.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah. I do a lot of solo design assistance and kind of play testing and development, really.
Yeah.
He's Davy's Turch, he's minion.
I am. I make all of his solo designs actually work.
Yeah.
He comes up with the idea and I make it work. That's the usual stick.
Yeah. That's good. So I argue you got the fun job then, haven't you?
Well, it doesn't pay the big bucks, but
no, exactly. Playing the games is from what the little go that I've had at trying to design a game. It's nothing more than a headache, as far as I can tell, and I've given up on that a long time ago. But
yeah,
playing
you have
the
to have
games
a certain flair for
yeah.
being able to design in a certain way. David has that flair for coming up with the ideas.
Yeah.
That really work out of the box, and it just takes. Effectively, he'll write it and then in a few hours, and then it's just tuning.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't come up with it that well.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it. It's crazy.
I know. It's clever stuff. It is.
So last episode, I did actually wonder whether this was like a board gamer's dream kind of opportunity to get all those designs done. Is that right or not, Nick?
For me, not really at the moment. I'm working just as much as I was before, if not more, because I don't have office distractions.
Right.
So during the daytime, I'm just flat out working. But in the evening, I'm doing some well, more development work than design work at the moment. Getting a bit in there here and there, but in general, I'm doing a bit more gaming because I'm not going out. I'm getting more time in the evenings to do gaming, but not significantly more than before.
I take it you're playing online, not go down the pub though. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. So online or solo, or with the kids.
Oh, ideal. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So do you play a lot of solo stuff?
I play a fair amount. Most of it at the moment is playtesting. I do occasionally get to play actual published games, but at the moment they are few and far between. Most of the stuff I do is playtesting and development. But the ones I play solo published are usually quite short ones because I don't have brain power by that point.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any good sneak peeks you can give us?
Sneak peeks of solo stuff.
Anything.
Or anything at all. I can give you sneak peeks if you want to. I've been working on the solo mode for Excavation Earth, which we will mention later in the Kickstarter section.
Yeah.
I've been playtesting some of the Perseverance Castaway Chronicles. That's the new Mind Clash game coming soon, which is looking pretty nice at the moment. We played that on Tabletopia last week. What else am I working on that I'm allowed to talk about? Probably not. I think everything else is probably under wraps at the moment.
Oh, that's still quite exciting stuff.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah,
That Perseverance looks like it's got lots of dinosaurs in it.
it does indeed.
Ooh.
Whether
go
there'll be
run with
minis or
dinosaurs.
standees, I don't know. But it's
It's going to have mini. If it's going on Kickstarter, it must have minis.
I'd hope so. Seeing as Mind Clash did, they did the Cerebria, the miniatures in Cerebria, which were beautiful. So yeah, something like that. But there are a lot of dinosaurs in this, a lot of dinos.
I was going to say, so you obviously got some sort of affinity with dinosaurs, Nick. You seem to.
I just gravitate towards them. Yeah. No, I think this is only the second game with dinosaurs in I've worked on. If I
that's two more than me, Nick.
Well, that's true. That's true. But compared to other games, if I compare them, games with grumpy old men from the 15th century doing trading, then yeah, this is very few.
Yeah, fair enough. And what's it like? What kind of game is it?
So Perseverance is a dice worker placement with custom dice where you're placing them out on the board to do actions, and you are exploring, kind of growing your city. The thematic background of it is that a ship called Perseverance was shipwrecked on this mysterious island with 2,000 passengers or so, and they have had to build their life on this island because they are completely stranded. They can't get any message out to the outside world. And in exploring this island, they've discovered that it's populated by dinosaurs, as you do. And so they've built this little city and community up, but they've got these waves of dinosaurs keep coming and attacking the walls. And so you're trying to build up influence inside the city and defend the city from these dino attacks that keep coming. Trying to think what else is in it. Yeah, that's
Like
about it. There's a bit of resource
thing, is
management.
it?
Sorry?
Semi-co-op type thing, is it?
It is kind of semi. I mean, it is fully competitive, but there is a cooperative bit about defending from the dino attacks, and whoever contributes most to that gets more awards, things like that.
Very interesting.
And it's 4 years in development, I think, so far. And this is the first of 4 games, so it's a kind of a chronicle series of games.
Oh, wow.
Where each new game builds on the next one, on the previous one rather. Yeah,
story-wise
planned.
or mechanics-wise?
Story-wise.
Oh.
Mechanics, it'll be very similar mechanics.
Yeah.
But story-wise, it's developing the story. So the further on you go, you start to be able to tame the dinos, and then start using them for things to explore the island more and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's really, really fun theme.
That's very original. I like it.
Yeah. Mind Clash tend to do really kind of out-of-the-box thematic games, like Cerebria. Trocarian. yeah, very, very different.
I mean, by the looks of it, looks like it is going to have miniatures in there because there's 3D renderings of the dinosaurs and
Oh, there aren't they? Yeah, on there.
And there's a painted one as well. So
yeah,
well, it looks very nice.
I'd hope so because it would look really cool on the table.
Yeah.
It just means that the price is going to be 5 times the amount.
Yeah.
Lewis,
I can't say what the prices are. They're not going to be astronomical.
Yeah, well, it looks quite interesting.
Definitely. And that's hitting Kickstarter, did you say, this year?
The plan is this year. I think in the next month or so. Or it might be a bit later than that. I can't remember exactly when.
But I think
the first game is basically done. They want to launch the first and second game kind of near at the same time, so they need to get the second game fully developed really before they start launching it.
I think it's a good time. There's a lot of people with money that they're not going to spend on anything else.
Yeah, Frosthaven's proven that.
Trouble.
Yeah, it's been spent on Frosthaven. I would like to ask how many people who have backed Frosthaven have completed even 25% of Gloomhaven. That's what I'd like to know.
I don't think
I'm going to say it's less than 2%.
Yeah. 2%. Wow. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's completed more than half. I'd say then.
I know 2 groups who've completed the whole thing.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dedication.
That is dedication. But they met like weekly since it came out to play through the campaigns.
Yeah, it's so repetitive. How do you manage to do that?
I haven't played it, so I have no idea.
Hate letters are coming in. The hate letters are coming in.
Cool. A game I've just played recently in physical form is Ticket to Ride London Edition. So it's one of these small box series that they're releasing. And the last one was New York. And they are pretty much similar to each other, except for one's London, one's New York. And there's slightly different scoring mechanism at the end of it. But I can relate to this more. We had fun. The wife just beat us again. I don't know how she does it. I mean, at one point, me and the boy were working together to try and overrule her, but no, she still beat us. So, yeah, it's actually more fun. I actually got rid of New York, mainly because, like, the wife said, it's just too fast to play.
So it's very quick.
It's quick.
Yeah, it kind of needs a little. I don't know if it make 5 more minutes will make it, or. So
is London as quick?
Yes, just as quick.
They're both quick. They're both like 15 minutes, aren't they? I think.
Yeah. It's one of those, but then again, it's quite small package, and you could probably, I probably will just keep it in the back of the car with the rest of the travel games, and leave it there. And because it is London, you kind of relate to it a bit better. More fun. Yeah.
But it's little London buses, isn't it, rather than trains?
Yeah, little buses, and the cards are like iconic kind of vehicles. So we got the yellow submarine. Really now black cabs, and things like that going on it. So yeah, it's a relatable product for us UK people, and it's just as good as any Ticket to Ride, except for it's just very quick. That's what it's there for, really. So, that's Ticket to Ride London.
Very short, I've played New York, and I enjoyed that. It was nice, quick little filler.
Yeah, I didn't
like try the London version.
I didn't quite like the end game scoring, like the last kind of nuanced scoring mechanism. I think I like London better. I'm trying to remember.
Is it slightly more complex? So New York has, you have to visit certain places to get the link bonus.
If you link to different places, you score extra points or something like that. They're kind of like tourist spots.
Extra bonus or something.
Yeah, and this one, there's like 5 regions, and as long as you can get your trains in some way of connecting to each of these points, stations, let's say, at these points, you score those points marked on the ones you've connected. So it's I found that a little bit more easier to kind of explain and get people like the boy to make him understand what he's got to do, kind of thing. So I think it's a little bit more dicey as well when you're kind of like snatching up these routes just to link them, and someone is actually going through there going, I need to get, oh no, not going to be able to get there now.
And it is so quick. If you lose a route, that's it. You're out for the game.
Is that kind of fastest gun draw kind of thing? Is like who's going to go first? Who's going to go first? Oh no, right! Everyone starts playing down their tickets and trying to grab routes quickly as possible. Lewis,
yes.
What have you been doing?
The last physical game that I played, the very last physical game I played, was absolutely schooling you at Monumental by Funforge, designed by Matthew Dunstan. And if I remember correctly, you were so cross, you then made a whole episode of a podcast bitching about it, didn't you? If I remember correctly. Everyone
needs to pull up a seat and have a cup of tea. It's going to be a long one.
So your main criticism of Monumental is that it's got a lot of downtime, and it has got a horrendous amount of downtime. And I'm almost in agreement with you that it almost makes it unplayable. Particularly, I think, if you go, 5 players, definitely not 4. I think 4 you'd struggle. You could easily sit for 10 minutes between your turns with 4 players, easily.
More, I reckon.
And more, yeah. As I say, minimum, yeah. It's a lot, but it's a really interesting game. It's really good. I really like it. It's another classic. Every game I play by Matthew Dunstan, it's never the game that you think it's going to be. I can remember playing. They made Vikings, and Matthew and Brett, and it was called Vikings, wasn't it? Yeah, just Vikings. Is that right?
The 848. Is it 848?
No. What's it called?
Raid.
Raid. That's it. Raids. Yeah, they made Raids.
Yeah.
It's called Raids. And that on the surface just isn't what you think it's going to be as to how it's kind of marketed and sold. And I think Monumental is another one of those games in that it looks like it's kind of marketed as a kind of deck builder for a Civ game, but it's not the game it is. What it is, it's an economic game, and it's a game that's entirely about economics, and it's really, really interesting. I've had some really interesting games of it where, you can drive your economy in lots of different ways. You can keep a really lean deck. We've just got all the good new cards coming in, classic kind of deck builder type kind of thing. But there's other ways you can do it as well, because you can keep cards. There's actions that let you keep cards and use them turn after turn. And if you can get that rolling with some really powerful cards, you can kind of constantly keep your economy kind of ticking over. And I played a game where I was just making this horrendous amount of resources every turn, but I was having to spend more than half of them just to keep my economy going. And because I'd kind of set it up like that, I was kind of in this like boom and bust cycle. It was actually really quite fun, where I just managed, it was literally the last turn of the game before my economy collapsed basically and imploded on itself, and I'd have had like the worst turn ever and lost by a mile. But I managed to just kind of keep this kind of economy going. There was a fun and excitement to that, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think you were saying it's had the variant that's come in.
This is fan made variant. This is not like direct.
So what's that design variant?
It's basically like what we've discussed several times after finishing a game, is because the downtime is so long between turns that someone's brought in the fact that you have either 1 or 2 actions and you take your pick. You're going to try and take 2 actions if you can, and then you have 2 actions, and that could be buying from the row, or moving troops on the board, using a culture token, or using an ability on the thing. So you could sit there and go, right, he's doing that, but then it also, I think it helps stop people blitzing the market, like you've experienced and I've experienced. It's like, oh, there's that card I could get, if it comes around to me, I can have that card, that's really going to help me out. And oh no, Lewis has brought the whole of the market, that now I'm screwed. I can't do anything. That's game
all the
over.
new cards will come out for you. Oh, you're talking about right at the end of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, that's kind of, it's. I think it happened to you in our last game that I had this really good go, took every card practically in the that was left in the market. But the game before that, I was looking at one card, I was like, I could really do with that card. I could really do with that. I could really make this work. No, Lewis has brought the whole lot, and it's just
correct.
Like, oh, that's so frustrating. So that
it was a great turn. It was a great turn.
Yeah, it was a great
those
turn.
combos.
That's the thing. Is the combo is so combo heavy that you just he's still going. He's done that. Oh, now he's bought that card. Oh, now he's unlocked that. Oh no, this is not looking good.
Buying that card gets you that, gets you more that. That lets you buy that, which gives you more of that, and that's the problem. That's why the turns are so long.
When one person's world is building up and it's looking amazing, your world is falling apart around you. It's like, I can't believe that. That's just so the two actions would mitigate that kind of feeling of.
They'd make the game very long, but they'd make the gap in between turns shorter.
I don't know if it would make it long. I think it would still be the same.
Give people more thinking time. Actually, maybe you're right. We'll give it a go when we get back.
Definitely should give it a go. And I said I want to try out the solo variant. Probably Nick's had a hand in that, knowing him.
No, one of the few I haven't.
So I think one of the beauties of Monumental is that kind of 9-card layout where you can choose that column and that. So you can choose to keep that card if you want. And hope the card that's going to link up well with it and work well with it comes out later. You can choose that, or you can choose not to, and you've got a bit more choice there. And I enjoy that idea, but it never really comes into fruition because there's so much other stuff going on. Actually, that the real wonderful mechanic of that column and that row, picking up 5 cards, never really comes out because you've got cards that let you untap cards so they can stick around for longer. You've got cards there's actually so much stuff going on, and like I said, because you can use your military to convert into other stuff by picking up these other bits, and you get bonuses if you do this, you get this other bits. You don't actually need most of the resources you get don't even come from the cards that you pick in your row and your column. So when you're picking your row and your column, you just need to make sure you've got enough to activate the first couple of actions of your chain reaction. That's then going to give you a shed load of stuff. And I think it's a shame because you don't really need to think about it as much as you could, which would be much more interesting.
I think also, I don't know if I've said it before, the scoring is quite static at the end of the day. It's the same scoring. There's no variation, or you have a secret objective or something like that. It's the same. Wonders score you 2 points. Each territory scores you a point. Each technology scores you 2 points. And something else scores you.
Technologies are 1 point, aren't they? The blue technologies are 1 point each.
And culture cards.
Culture cards are 2 points each, aren't they? Yeah. And then you get 3 points for the person with the most of each of those things.
Oh yes, so it's very static, and it's just like there's no kind of I brought this card, and now at the end of the game it's going to score me an extra point for each other one of this symbol I've got. It's nothing like that.
It misses out a bit on that, yeah.
And I think, like for you, you're that sort of person that counts everything. And you usually go at the end, I make out your scores about this, and I've kind of worked out. And it's like, no, I've actually snuck in this card you didn't see, kind of thing.
You always love trying to get one past me.
No. So Nick, have you played it? That's the question.
I have not played it, no.
Do you want
I know
to play
of it. I've seen it, but I haven't had a chance to play it. But it looks. I'm just looking at the photos on Board Game Geek at the moment, and it does look very interesting.
I mean, looks wise, you can't fault it. I mean,
it looks beautiful. Yeah.
Stunning game.
And I agree with you, Lewis, that I really like the idea of the 3x3 grid of cards.
It's so clever, Really clever. Yeah.
We should try that with Clank.
Yeah, I think we should try it with Clank, because I think that is genius. Because it's the thing that annoys me most about Clank is that you get 5 cards, you have to use all 5 cards. I have no control over that. I'm not in control of that. That 9-card grid is so clever, yet, like I said, it just doesn't get utilised properly in this game.
That silence now says it's over. Good. So no, fair enough. It's not. I'm saying it's a terrible game. just a game.
It's got a lot of downsides.
Yeah.
But I tell you, mate.
But the miniatures are beautiful.
It looks amazing, and mate, when you're on that run, keeping your economy alive, earning so much but spending so much to stay alive, on playing by the edge of your seat to keep your entire game going, and and pulling off some of the most horrendously amazing combos you've ever seen. It can be really, really good, really exciting, proper get your heart going, kind of on the edge of your seat, fun. It's brilliant. So that was the last game I played in real life. But I've turned myself into a bit of an online games mogul, I won't lie. So I've got multiple groups now where I run games of somewhere between 15 and 30 people, all the classic roll and writes. So we started with Patchwork Doodle, that's with a lot of family, play with kids and stuff as well. It's all good fun, and people really enjoyed that. So I then wanted to move to Welcome 2, but when I tried to get Welcome 2, it was sold out everywhere. So I was recommended that by Christoph at Meeples Corner. He said he just played Cartographers, and that should fit the bill. So give that a go. So I got Cartographers, a role player tale. I think his full name is. We just call it Cartographers. Yeah. I think it's because it's Connect from some world or something. I've not played a role player. Anyway. And it's really good fun. People absolutely love it, and it works really, really well because same with Patchwork Doodle, because I play it with family and kids and stuff, and because I play with so many people, you can't just have one winner. So there's a winner of the most points. There's a winner of the person who makes the best patchwork/map. There's like best looking, so it's like a colouring and drawing competition. Yep. There's a winner of the person who improved the most on the last game. There's a winner for the person who comes up with the best name in Cartographers, and there's a winner for the person who draws the best coat of arms in Cartographers.
Fantastic.
Lots of players need lots of prizes, trust me. Especially with kids.
Yeah. This was very popular. I tried to get a demo of this at Essen, and it was just packed out the whole time.
Yeah.
Couldn't get on it, yeah. It was very
Was that Cartographers?
Yeah.
Cartographers, yeah.
So it's very interesting. So it's a lot like Patchwork Doodle. So it's a card. It's a draw and color, I guess, is what you kind of call it. So you've got your kind of grid, which is your kind of map, and then the cards come out, and they've got different shapes on them. But normally you can either pick between a shape or pick between what kind of area it's going to be, between farmland, water, houses, forests. Those are the kind of main ones that you draw. And so you kind of draw your kind of Tetrisy type pieces in. And what's really interesting is every game is completely different, because there's 4 different areas for scoring, and you play 4 rounds, and it's basically A, B, C, and D are your different scoring areas. And in the first round you score A and B, in the second round you score B and C, in the third round you score C and D, and in the fourth round you score D and A again. So you've got to kind of plan in advance for what you're going to do, and it could be things like how many forests you've got on the edge of the map, or it could be you filled in a certain number of columns and rows on your map, or it could be have farmland next to water, or have farmland not next to water, or have the trees connect up the mountains. And there's 4 for each of the 4 different categories. There's 4 different options. So I can't even do the maths. It's 4 by 4, but they can all be in any one of the 4 slots. So it's 4 by 4 by 4 or something, isn't it? But to the power.
It's a lot. Yeah.
There's basically every game.
A lot of variability.
And it changes dramatically as well, because even the one that's got the classic one is the one that scores what have you got coloured in, and if you've got rows and columns coloured in, and if that comes sort of in the middle, chances are you're not going to get many points from it. So you may as well kind of ignore it, and you need to know to ignore it. But if it comes, say it's in D, chances are you're going to get a lot of points from it and be scoring it right at the end. So you need to start playing for that from the beginning, because that's going to make you loads. So even just where the kind of card is matters, and also there's another card which is only ever going to get you like a couple of points, even if it's right at the end or right at the beginning. So do you really want to play for that, or do you just want to kind of get the opportunistic points? And depends where it comes out. It's brilliant. It's really clever, because you've really got to change your mindset from is this game set up one where I've got to just score the points every round and concentrate on that, or is this the game set up where there's a really good round somewhere that I need to get because I'm going to miss out on half the points? It's clever. Changes.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And one great thing that's really fun about it, and everyone loves it, is every now and then, as you're going through the deck of cards, each round you add in these kind of, you get like a surprise attacked by some goblins or some whatever they are, different ones, and they're basically a shape, but you have to pass your piece of paper to the person on your left or right, and they've got to draw it in.
I love that
in the most annoying way.
So good.
Yeah, and it blocks you off. It which is annoying. It
scores you minus points.
It scores you minus points in the space around if all the spaces that you, because then you've got to quickly fill in those spaces, otherwise you lose points. It's a really fun, really good game. Everyone loves it, and like I say, because it's got that drawing element as well. Playing even like young kids. I mean, we're playing with 6 is our youngest that we're playing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Right up until I think the oldest is 70. Yeah, 70-year-old. So yeah, it's very good, very fun. And those are the two I've been playing. Patchwork Doodle is the same, but just without the different kind of land bits. It's literally just filling in a space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely recommend Cartographers. It's very good.
Cool.
Talking of Tabletopia, me and Nick played a game on there last night.
We did.
Yeah. Architects of the West Kingdom.
And how is it? You've been wanting to play it for a while.
No, this is my third time playing it now, I think.
Oh, is it?
I redacted what I first said about it. I was telling Nick about it, and it was just like, yeah. So, but yeah, so this is my second time after playing it. This is my third time after playing my second time, which was 5-player, and absolutely loved it because someone got all the rules right this time for me. And yeah, and again, it was kind of one of those things. It was trying to remember. I had to kind of re-engage myself of trying to remember what's going on with it and what to do and things. There's a lot going on in Architects of the West Kingdom, and there's so many kind of different ways you can go about like scoring.
There's
points.
lots of places you can score points.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I kind of the thing with it is, and it's the same with like Tabletop Simulator, is because you're trying to have to think about how you manipulate how you work virtually, you've got another layer of thinking to do. So when you're playing a game, it's just normal reaction. Right, put a piece over here, grab these pieces. Right, I'm done. I can now think about what next part of my plan. But you've got to think, right, I need to pick this piece up and scroll up to the top of the screen and place it here. And now I've done that, I need to go over to this side of the screen and pick up this piece and bring it back to this board. And Nick's saying every time you drop a piece on your board, it keeps floating through the board, and you can't see what's in there. It keeps vanishing onto your board. It was bizarre. I can see them, they're fine for me. But then I had this problem in Tabletopia that I was trying to put my cards in my hand, so only I could see them in front of my screen, but they were black. And so then I couldn't see what my cards were. And I tried different things of trying to shake that off, but it wouldn't work. So then in the end, I had to have my cards out on the table so I could see what they are, and Nick could see what they are. And it's just like, oh, this seems a little bit of disadvantage. I mean, Nick was being a gentleman, of course, and I wasn't saying, I'm not looking, honest, Gov. So yeah, so that was a pain. And actually, I said to Nick halfway through, I said, this is more clunkier than Tabletop Simulator. I'm finding it more difficult to navigate and use this than I've been using with Tabletop Simulator, and I didn't think I would say that.
Tabletopia is free though, isn't it?
Technically,
it is
yes.
For some games, yeah.
There is a premium version, which I have paid for the 30 days, just so I can see what gets, how it improves, kind of thing. So the Tabletopia, you can only have 2 people in it if you're using the free version, and you're limited to probably certain players. So like Scythe, like we found out in the last episode, if you want to play that, on free accounts, only 2 people can play, and you're automatically given 2 factions to use. So and it's all free after that. But if you want to do more with it, someone needs to own the premium account to open up all the factions and possible expansions as well to that game.
It's the freemium model of tempt you in, and then make it just restrictive enough that you really want to buy the subscription.
And then also the other thing is, none of it's scripted. It's got placeholders, but like with Tabletop Simulator, when we were playing that, Lewis, like when we were doing Clank, there's some scripted parts to it, so it automatically does stuff or counts stuff up. This is all manual. This is you've got to do it manually.
So the only thing it did was some of the cards automatically flip if you drop them in the right place, but that was it.
Yes, they did. But then I think that's kind of that whole thing does that kind of thing. Where like some people actually put time and effort into scripting certain sections of it. So I might have to say I might enjoy Tabletop Simulator more than I do Tabletopia, because it's not so clunky and it's not so there's also, you get scripted games within Tabletop Simulator that help experience and just help a lot of spreadsheeting, is that what it's called, or the manual effort for you to do
all
stuff.
the manual labour.
So
I've yet to try Tabletop Simulator. I've only tried Tabletopia.
No,
and it has been kind of this kind of clunkiness where you're trying to play a piece down somewhere and it's not quite right, and you drop it on something else, it falls over, you can't pick it up again, and
that's it. And that's the thing I was saying to Nick, is like in Clank, when you knock over your figure and you pick it up again just by clicking on the cursor, it automatically writes it, which is quite cool. In Tabletopia, if you knocked over your meeples, you're kind of trying to stand it back up again. It was really, really frustrating. You have to kind of flip it, and it might flip the wrong way, so then you have to flip it again, and hopefully it might stand up then. It's just, it felt more time consuming in that way. And Nick, I mean, if you can find a half price key for Tabletop Simulator, that's all you need to pay for then, which is,
it's tempting.
Actually, it is very tempting, and it's got like thousands of games on there.
But we did okay in our game. We managed to get to the end. It was good, enjoyable. I beat you by 2 points.
Started failing, didn't it? We were like stood there going, "Is he talking? Can he hear me?" And then we realised
having issues with audio.
Yeah, so we went to Skype, and that was fine after that. But we lost Lewis. Gone.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me
now. Yeah.
Okay. I think I was talking before. I don't think anyone could hear me. I think I was just talking to myself.
That's good to know.
I just had to unplug my mic and plug it back in again. It seemed to work.
Okay.
Did you hear what that?
I could hear you guys. I was chipping in, and no one responded to anything I said. And I was like, "Oh, that's mean."
I did wonder, because I actually did call you in and say, "Oh, you remember when we played Clank, Lewis?" No response.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was talking. I was talking loads. I was like, "Yeah, it was so much better. It was like all automated. Yeah, it's great." And then you were like blanking me. I was like, "Mean, but whatever." And then you're saying other stuff. I'm like, "Oh, that's annoying." And you were like, "Well, I'm just gonna blank again." He's not even going to say anything. Like, "Oh, so is it like this?" Blanked. Unbelievable. I will say though about Tabletopia or any of them, I cannot stand them. When I play board games to sit down and play face to face with people and chat to people and have a good time, and I like the tactility, whatever it's called. Of games. I like the smell, the touch, the feel. I love everything about it. And we're in exceptional times, so I make exceptional exceptions.
Exceptional exceptions.
Exactly, for exceptional times.
That's a different level exception.
It will not be continuing the second that we are free again. And that's why, to be honest, the main thing I've been doing is kind of it's kind of still the core of the game is still there, the drawing and all the games that I've been playing. I've played one game of Clank on Tabletop Simulator with Joel. I would have joined in with you guys of the West Kingdom one. Oh no, you played on Tabletopia, didn't you? Oh, I wouldn't have. But I would have, in principle. Like I would have joined in. but I would have not enjoyed it. I feel like, you know, like it's like that scene in Top Gun, you know, after Goose dies, when Goose's wife is like, he would have flown without. He loved flying with you, Mav. He'd have flown without you. He'd have hated it, but he'd have done it. That's what I would have done. You know, I'd have hated it, but I would have done it for exceptional time. All right, but you know, I'd much rather fly with Mav. So yeah,
fair enough. Okay. Yeah. I do like the physical nature of them as well.
Moving on. I actually played a game on Tabletop Simulator, a new game coming out on Kickstarter end of this month, maybe? No, end of next month, May. And that's Prima Arena. This is from Hub Games, good old friends from Hub Games. So this is designed by John Farrar. Oh my god. And Roy O'Connor. Now there's a big whole backstory of why this game was designed and how and everything like that. Mainly this John guy is a big HeroClix fan. He's got a partner like most of us, and she or he, can't remember now, said that they wanted to play a board game and it was his choice of what board game they wanted to play. He thought it'd be a great opportunity to bring out HeroClix and teach them, and then he realised actually no, this will put her off or him off for life. So then he went to town because they designed Untold together. So using the Rory's cubes, they designed that together. So he went to town designing this combat arena game that would be friendly, family friendly, fun, action, very simple and clever, easy to pick up, but still with deep strategy to it. And he's right. I mean, it's very cartoonish. They design it to make it look like some kind of 80s, 90s Saturday morning cartoon theme that going on. They kind of put this kind of, dare I say it, kind of Pokemon-esque kind of element in it. And then there's also customization to it, which I'll get to in a minute. Ooh. Excuse me.
All their games have some kind of customization, though, don't they? It's all very creative stuff.
Yeah. So this will be, I don't know, from the pictures you can see, there's you can see a little bit of detail going on. So it's basically 3 versus 3. You can have 4-player, which is 2 versus 2, but your main hero character, and you have either 1 or 2 emotions, or mocons they're called, that help fight with you. And each one has an ability, and they're actually emotions. So I kind of said, is it like Inside Out, that Pixar story? And he said, no, that's not that kind of thing. I was like, okay, I won't go there again. And so each one, they're based on emotions, and there's you can draft, or you can just randomly give each person these characters. And then you go to fight, and they most of them have basic moves, which is like moving, blasting from a distance, and up close attacking. Each of them will have the basic like health. So your hero has 6 health, your mocons have 4 health. When they get that, say damage, they're trying to keep it really family friendly. So you're hitting them. You're just like kind of tagging them in a way, kind of thing. Yeah. And when they get enough tags on them, they call it bounce. So you get bounced out of the arena, but when it comes back to their turn again, they just like materialize back in the arena. So there's no death, there's no destruction. It's very softy, kind of thing like that. But what the cool thing is you get these, you get like a starting deck of cards. And you draw up a few, and they're kind of combo cards. So you have this dial which you turn to select what you're going to do with that character, and then it might have a symbol below it, and if you can have a card in your hand with that same symbol, you can play it on top, and that might just then let you combo into another turn. Then there might be another symbol on that card which you can match up with another card in your hand, and you can do these combos, and it can get quite very strategic how you're going to pull off these moves and actually do enough hits on the person to take them out. And that was really clever, and it really started when I started like like working it out, and again, because you're using Tabletop Simulator, it's that kind of extra thinking power you need to do of like scrolling around the screen and things like that, and how to do stuff. It was just like but yeah, it just added another layer to it with these combo cards, and I said there's these customizations, so there's a kind of story to it, not like as you play, you're training up your hero, and as you train them up, you get to stick on new like little extra powers for themselves, things like that. And it's not legacy, because this is kind of based in the 80s, so there's no such thing as legacy. It's customization. You got to think of it. You're customizing your character to play and get better, and you've got to train and do certain things throughout each arena tournament to do these powers. But not only that, each character starts off as a kind of bit of default kind of character, and then they got stickers that you can then stick on and customize your character to have red hair.
That's cool.
Or a helmet, or things like that. And they've got like 4 different versions of like the basic default character of different ethnicities, and they've got like a golem creature as well, and
Kids
you can
like
you can stick over the top, and you can if you unlock new blasting abilities, you might get different stuff that sticks on top of your hands or things like that.
Fantastic.
And it was just
like
awesome.
this.
You're hitting a market that kids will love.
Yeah,
because my boy loves playing Fortnite at the minute, and he's like, I want to get this skin, I want to get that, I want to do this, and blah blah blah.
Oh, they love their
dance
skins
move.
and they can't get enough blinking skins.
No, you can't afford it.
Can't always be happy in their own skin. That's what I would say. Oh, shut up, Dad! You're so
they
embarrassing.
need to be individual. They need to like not be the same as everyone else and things like that. So, and I think, and like they're trying to then do this kind of play in the store kind of element where the store can open up and say, right, we're doing this, not so much tournament, but come and play and join in, and if you partake, I've got this sheet of stickers that you can have for partaking to like customize your character up again. And I thought, oh, that's brilliant, I love this idea. So
that's a great idea.
So I had a whale of a time.
Is it as good as Ultimate Warriors, which is the best arena game?
You hate that game.
I don't hate that game.
You hated it.
Well, Ultimate Warriors.
No,
I love Ultimate Warriors. I own Ultimate Warriors, and I've played it multiple times.
Oh, I thought you hated it.
I played your game, and I bought it at literally the second I finished playing your game, your version of it. I love it. It's so clever.
Okay.
It's quick. It's easy. It's fun. It's just and the box makes the arena. It's the best part of it. All other arena games pale into insignificance against that game. They're all either too clunky, too complicated, or just too annoying. Whereas Ultimate Warriors is just it's that perfect sweet spot of simple and fun. But it hasn't got stickers, so who am I to comment?
Absolutely.
I don't know what the kids want.
You've got to have stickers.
You haven't got skins.
It's going to win every time.
Exactly. You could probably make stickers for standees.
Probably good, yeah. You could probably take these stickers from this and put it on top of the standees for that.
So how does the actual fighting work in Prisma Arena then? You play cards.
So you got your 3 characters. Each one has a dial below its name, a triangle shaped dial.
Yeah.
Which in each corner has either you move, blast, or what's the other one? Strike, maybe.
So simultaneous action selection.
So when it's your turn, you just pick one of your characters and you select what you're going to do with it. So if you're going to move, you're going to probably move 1 to 4 spaces. So that's quite simple. You either move orthogonally, really, but you can have one diagonal move space. So that kind of adds a little bit of element to it. Blasting is basically range is always 4 spaces, diagonally or orthogonally. And line of sight is quite simple. If you can see that character in that line, that you hit them. And then striking is basically when you're next to someone in any of the 8 spaces around it, you strike them.
So basically, if
2.
you like miniatures games and you've got kids, you need to get your kids this game, don't you?
This would be ideal for you, yeah.
Yeah. This is like the ultimate introduction to miniatures gaming.
You definitely, yeah. And then I just said it that adds so each character has one of those moves, but it's these cards you have in your hand that help to kind of really turn up the thing. So he's like, oh, I've got this card. If I can just get within range, then I can play this card on top of this, and then this one, and then strike them. And then it's kind of that thing, oh, you know that character's been, so they're not going to attack again. So you could actually leave them alone, or you could attack them still. It's up to you. Or he's played all 4 of his cards he's had this round, so he's got nothing else to play. I'm pretty safe. So it's one of those. And the scoring is quite simple. So as I said, the main hero has 6 health. So if you knock them out, you get 6 points. The Mocons have 4 health. You knock them out, you get 4 points. First person to reach 20 ends the game. After that.
So is it the person who just does the knockout blow that gets the points?
Well, yeah. So if you're playing 2-player person, you get 2-player. You're going to get. Why is that?
If you're playing, it's just no. If you're playing, if it's an all v all, or is it just always teams?
Yeah, it's all v all.
Yeah. So if you're playing all v all, and there's more than 2 players, then one player can come along and do like 3 damage, and the other person comes along and goes tink for 1 and gets all the points. Always annoying.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Always annoying that mechanic.
But then I just play 2-player, and I kind of really only see this as a 2-player game.
Fair enough.
I've not played it 4-player or 3, so I can't really say whether.
Annoying, Joe. How it works, I can tell you that.
Maybe because you do have your own coloured damage tokens. So if you do damage on the opponent hero Mocon, you do put your damage tokens on there. So it might be a fact that if you do more damage, you might get those. You must get those points. That's what it is. So if you put 3 damage on one person, someone comes along and put 1 damage, you'll get 3 points. They get 1 point.
Yeah,
that's probably how it works.
Somebody on their design team is annoyed about that mechanic as much as I am.
So yeah, that's kind of just me guessing. That's why we got coloured tokens. That makes sense now. So, but yeah, that's hitting Kickstarter end of May. So from one Kickstarter announcement to actual Kickstarter, which has been provided to us by our guest.
Hooray!
So.
Finally, you guys have dragged me here for hours, and you made me sit around to talk about other stuff.
So the Kickstarter I was going to talk about is Excavation Earth, which is a David Turczi game. Which is on Kickstarter at the moment. I've worked on the solo mode for this, so I've played it a whole load. I really enjoy it. So in this game, you're a race of alien explorers who have come to Earth to excavate these weird and wonderful human artifacts from the humanity that's long since disappeared from the planet. And you're going around excavating them from dig sites, trading on the black market, manipulating the normal markets and trying to sell your items off to the highest bidder, and influencing the mothership with envoys, and trying to get the most money. That's the whole idea of the game, is just to get the most money. It's got some really lovely, cool artwork. It's got some really interesting mechanics for market manipulation. And set collection, and as I said, there's a solo mode I put in, which is a really interesting little puzzle, and that is on Kickstarter at the moment for the next. Let's see how long it's got. 16 days to go.
16 days, maybe 15 by the time it comes out. So
it's already managed to reach the goal, and it's going through its stretch goals at the moment.
It's worth saying, just because of the current situation we're in, it's got a free print and play that you can try.
It does, and in fact, Mighty Boards, who are the publisher, are putting out print and plays of a number of their games, mini 1 to 2 player versions of their games at certain points during the campaign. So they've got Petrichor, Vengeance, Posthumous Saga, and one of Excavation Earth itself as well. coming out during the campaign time frame. If you wanted to try any of those out.
I've always wanted to play Petrichor. I didn't back it in the end, way back
It's
when.
a lovely game, Petrichor. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah. It looked good.
It's beautiful.
A pleasing, quiet and relaxed theme. A bit like...
you play as clouds. I mean, there's nothing more relaxing than that.
Exactly. Wandered lonely as a cloud.
Exactly, yeah. So that's Excavation Earth.
Bro, sounds good.
Looks really nice.
It does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
Was this theme originally set on it, or is this kind of something that's grown as development went on?
This is a theme that has developed onto it.
Right.
The original theme was a race between different mythical horses and unicorns and things. It's completely changed.
I think this is better than that.
Yeah, it's very, very different. And it's
race between mythical unicorns.
I'm trying to remember how it developed into this theme. I think the publisher was in some ways influential in this specific theme, having it being alien and archaeology. So you effectively got alien Indiana Joneses coming in.
Well, everyone loves Indiana Jones, and that's
Who's
a
not
fact.
gonna love it, exactly.
And aliens are also equally cool.
Indeed.
And so you sort of collect bits.
So you're collecting these artifacts, which give you sort of a set collection mechanic for the end of the game.
Yeah.
And you're manipulating the 6 different markets on the board, so you can sell your artifacts to the certain colour of meeple, who are the buyers.
Yeah.
And you want to try and sell to as many markets as you can at once, because you get bonuses for doing multiple markets. And your actions are card driven, so you have a hand of cards, and you're playing. The cards are multi-use, so they have an origin, which is their colour, kind of the area of the map, and then they have a symbol, which is the kind of faction allegiance that you're influencing. And they can also be spent on fuel to move around the board. So there's multiple little overlapping mechanics going on.
Oh, yeah. It's quite good fun.
Cool.
Very good.
So first pledge is $50, I should say, where it gets you basically the base game and the promo pack of artifacts. Then you go to 70, which gives you the second wave expansion, bringing it to 6-player. Is that right?
No, it doesn't add players. It adds more factions and 3 kind of mini expansion modules you can add in.
Ah, right. Okay. So yeah, it's
It's
me
still
getting confused.
4 players, though. Yeah.
Oh, still only 4 players.
Yeah.
I thought it went to 6 players when you added this in. Okay. And then you've got $85, the collector's edition, so you get the game and the expansion and metal coins. Metal coins do.
So they are so nice looking.
Yeah, they do look very nice.
They look cool. They look very alien.
Yeah.
I think that's the point, Lewis.
Oh, yeah. I forgot the people say. So I was still on unicorns.
You do got to think like in I don't know 1,000 years time, like we probably wouldn't be here, but yeah, aliens coming down and finding all our crap. Thinking,
They're going to find a lot of metal coins in my games, I'll tell you that for free. They're like, this currency is so strange. They seem to have so many different currencies.
In one house, it's got 10 different currencies.
Yeah.
How did they keep
What could
track
this
of it
possibly
all?
be used for? Why would you need so much plastic? Simon.
Oh dear. Never mind. Anyway, that looks really good. I just on a hiatus from backing anything at the minute. So
I'm not.
go on, you do it
Yeah,
then.
no excuse then, Lewis. There you go.
I'm working harder than usual, so therefore getting more money than usual, and nothing to spend it on. So I need to find things to spend it on. I might even just get Frosthaven. Everyone else is doing it. I'd be a fool not to, wouldn't I?
Well, you seem to have all the money at the minute. Okay, so last section we're going to talk about what else we can do in lockdown. So I brought you marble racing. Everyone seems to be loving marble racing, but the season is now over. and we are all sad that enjoyed it. And then Nick said about.
So I found this thing which is Diecast Rally Racing, which are like little Matchbox Diecast rally cars, which these two guys have set up this amazingly beautiful track, little minis track for these cars to race down, and they film them in sort of slow-mo, and then they do commentary over the top as if it's a real race, and it is absolutely hilarious. They've put in engine sounds, so it sounds like the cars are revving around the corners, crash sounds when they spin out.
I love it.
It's absolutely genius.
Oh, sorry, I was watching it.
It is brilliant. I mean, I think this is actually could take over my marble racing, because the marble racing is great and you get into it, but it's just one guy and you're watching a load of balls roll around the circuit, and it's just like, and he's good at the commentary, but these guys make this.
I just love the track that they've made. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's like jumps and bank corners.
And they've got all the little spectators and little food huts.
That crashed out. Oh, double crash out. Oh, badass.
And it's just brilliant.
If you think of the two guys commenting, I was thinking very much like the cars in the Pixar film Cars, where they have the commentators on those races. If you imagine that as if they're being dead serious, but with little model cars.
Yeah.
So
it's like so with marble racing, the commentary is so serious, and the marble racing, and you're like, they love it.
Yeah, and like these guys, I was saying to Nick, it's like it's got the one guy who is serious, he knows his stuff, but you got his double act who's just there for the jokes, and he's just trying to find all the puns and things like that. And it's going to be scripted, because he would have recorded all this and said, right now, guys, you put a script to this, and it's just great, and like the stuff they come out with. And there's one, I'm watching the second event season, and I just sat there in hysterics, because they're rehashing back to the first events that's going on, and then they're also then having this major bickering going on why this car's crashing out. Then they go back to it, they go, oh, so we completely missed what happened in that thing, but I think matey just crashed out there, fat ant. He goes, yeah, we were talking about the meeting that I wasn't even invited to, so yeah.
Oh, just right over the line. Oh, right on the line, didn't make it.
Yeah, I think you're at the same point as me.
That was a close one, that was.
Yeah, and I think it's great. At first I didn't think it kind of worked, because they got like, it's not timed laps or timed how long they get down. It's how far they get down, and then if they make a certain jump distance, max air, and it works so well actually, the way he's got it, it works out the point scoring. And then in the second event, they've actually got lines down for, they got to cross this line to get the max, the big air, and then they got a second line. And he says, yeah, and you notice this second line we got down, and they're like, oh, is this to do with social distancing? And he goes, no, this is for max air points, kind of thing.
Oh, he's punched the other one over.
He got punched over the bottom, didn't he? So we're just watching this as it's playing on. It's so funny.
fantastic.
But, it's just...
Right, we better move on. On.
I was just going to say, it's like, this kind of thing we used to do as kids, didn't we?
Yeah,
exactly. It was this thing. All these YouTube things now are all like stuff like that you really wanted to do as a kid, and you kind of like did like a little bit, but these guys just do it like to like the extreme, and like it's just so good, isn't it?
They probably are our age, and they're just reliving their childhood fantasy. But so that's Die Car Racing. The person that does it is 3D Bot Maker. If you go along there and subscribe and watch his races, but the rally new stuff he's got coming out is top. So I was going to bring forward, and I can't find my script. So I was forced the other night to print out this print and play game, Cards Against Humanity Family Edition.
God.
So they released this. It's like bloody 28 pages long. It's Cards Against Humanity without the really garish,
so it's apples to apples.
Release.
No, they really
not really. It's still the same thing, But I sat down and the missus said, "Come on, kids, let's sit down and play this," and blah blah blah. And Caitlin's like, "I don't want to play a board game." It's like she goes, Claire's like, "It's Cards Against Humanity." "Oh, I love Cards Against Humanity." It's like, "When have you played Cards Against Humanity?" At a friend's house. It's like, okay, well, this is family friendly, so Isaac can play. And we sat down, and I have to admit, the very first one came out was hilarious. My son, and I wish I'd trying to get it on video. He was in stitches. He was like, as like Claire was reading out the things to it. He was to the point that he was crying, and I was just like, I've never seen him react like that before. He was just having a ball. But then after it slowly kind of just petered off. Maybe because like the cards weren't coming out right for the situation, or sometimes we just looked at it and was like, that's just rubbish. Oh, maybe we chuck that question away and draw another one out, kind of.
That's Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, so I mean, it's free, it's online, it's something to do. If you got nothing to do, if you got enough printer ink and paper, then go ahead and print it. If not, I wouldn't really worry about it, but it's out there.
Right.
I was forced to print it out, so. But yes,
I have no problem with the original Cards Against Humanity. I have no problem with it being graphic. I am very thick-skinned. I have a very dark sense of humour. I have a problem with the fact that the game is dull. It's just a dull game.
It's not dull at first, is it?
People like it because it's like, oh, that's so naughty. Like, oh,
yeah.
If you're not easily shocked, then it's just not that exciting.
Well, this is it. I mean, at first it's like, oh my goodness, can't do that. Oh, that's not. But then after you've been through it a few times, it's like, yeah.
But also,
been here
apples
before.
to apples. They stole apples to apples. Why are they not getting sued? Ridiculous.
Yeah, they're very boring.
Stole someone else's and put swear words in there and something inappropriate.
You can't protect a mechanic. You can only protect a name and things like that.
Yeah, but I just don't know why people are buying it. Like, people would be like, no, you literally stole it from Apples to Apples.
Because it's
the people who made But the people who made Apples to Apples need to release Apples to Apples Adult Edition, and then they can't get sued either. So
I don't understand it either. But people just like, oh, it's naughty. It's got naughty words in it, and especially when you get the biggest, blackest dick box expansion, then it just adds even worse stuff to it. It's just like, no, it's just more worse words. So yeah, I know what you're saying.
Funny.
And I refuse to play it now, but it's just because we're in this kind of moment. I'll give the wife her moment of like playing the game, but I don't think we'll be going back to it.
There are so many better games to be played.
Oh yeah, I've just got way better things to do with my time, like play Monopoly. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, stick my finger through my eyeball into my brain.
Anyway, so if Cards Against Humanity's not your forte, or don't want to waste your ink on it, then you could actually go along to another website, pmparcade.com, and there is a plethora of printable games that you can actually get for free, a lot of them, or print out for a very cheap price. And some of them are actually really good. Just recently I printed out one called Estate Roll.
Roll Estate.
Roll Estate, that's it. And it's actually very good. It's a bit like Welcome To, in that kind of sense.
I really wanted it to be about a roller disco. Roller Estate. Like roller estate.
Cool. Do you know the history of the game design?
No.
John? So it's designed by the guy who ran the Flip the Table podcast.
Oh yes.
And it was a mashup between Monopoly and Yahtzee.
Ah.
Yes. Do you know what? When I was teaching it, and I was telling them how to play, I said, "Oh, this bit on here. So once you've got this full set of like houses, just like Monopoly, you can now buy the business next to it." And that's how I described it, and that's not
that
because I knew anything.
That's because that was the inspiration for the design.
See, so I was kind of correct then.
You were indeed, yeah. It's clever stuff.
That's awesome. But it's actually a really good game. I quite enjoy playing it. So
best than Monopoly and Yahtzee.
hand picking the best bits of those games.
Yeah.
Again,
that's
Yahtzee. You never need to play Yahtzee because the game Past the Pigs exists, which is infinitely better in every way. Mainly because you're throwing pigs.
Yeah, Roller Estate is $3 to purchase, which is not actually a bad price.
Yeah,
Here's a few just sheets, and you can print them out and laminate them and keep reusing them. So that. But they've also got quite a few free games on there at the minute, and you can go in there, click on free games, and pick your selection of what you want. And they've got.
You were saying they had a little series by the monumental designer Matthew Dunstan and Brett
Gilbert. Yeah, so a little series called Good Little, and you could probably put anything on the end of it. So you've got Good Little Martian, Good Little Trains, Good Little Gardens, and Good Little Ninjas. And they're all kind of different variations, and they're really small games that you could print out on probably about 4 pages and cut out and play if you've got the gear to go along with it. So yeah, I've got those. I'm gonna print them out and hopefully see what they're like.
How much do they cost?
Free.
Free?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm on
Free.
it.
All the Good Little games are free.
Wow, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Do they have amazing combos that go on for 5 hours?
No, I don't think so.
I've lost interest then.
There's another good one on here. I can't remember the name. I can see it in my head. That's the Spanish version. SPRAWLOPOLIS.
Which one?
SPRAWLOPOLIS.
Oh, SPRAWLOPOLIS.
SPRAWLOPOLIS, that's it.
SPRAWLOPOLIS.
That's not the good one. Yeah.
So that is quite good. It's going to take a few more pages to print out, but I've actually got that. So you can buy the main game for $3. You can get the Beaches expansion for $1.
Oh.
Or if you wanted to, you could just get the free Spanish version and print that out.
Just sort of make up the rules yourself.
Yeah, you could probably get the rules on Board Game Geek. That's a bit cheeky, but I bought the English version because all this money goes to the designers. So
yeah, exactly.
Might as well stick a few
pretty sure I can
quid in
spare
their pocket.
$3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a Rekatar expansion you can get for $1 as well. So it's like a kaiju monster walking through your city.
Oh.
Mm.
So what is that? Is that a roll and write type thing?
No,
again,
that's like a tile lane kind of game.
Oh, you have to get some cardboard then to stick it on.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe print it on thicker paper, like card-like paper,
or put it in sleeves.
Put it in. Yeah.
Sleeve tiles. That's going a level above sleeving for me.
I'm like, people are now sleeving the tile. You got to protect the tile. Got to protect it all. Cover it all in plastic.
Yes. So I'm building up quite a little folder full of downloadable games at the minute. Printable downloadable games.
Oh, there you go.
So I'll probably never get to play at this rate, but yes, that's other things you can do. So yeah, that's the end of the show, guys. Anything else you want to add? Nope.
No.
Nothing more for me.
No, that's it.
Enjoy your gaming.
Yeah.
So thank you, Nick, for joining us on this episode.
Very welcome.
Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. NJShaw2 is my handle on Twitter. I don't post much on there, but you can say hello.
Not
the
number
same
one.
on Board Game Geek.
Do this before. You're not number one.
I'm not number one. I'm only number 2.
Even back on Yahoo.
Even back on Yahoo.
You'll hear that in the probably end credit podcast of what happened there. So yeah, Nick, sure you find him probably on Facebook. Oh, he's on Facebook quite preferably, and things like that. If you want to go and chat to him, maybe tout your game ideas to him, which I'm probably going to do sooner or later. Anyway, so yes,
I wouldn't bother.
That's another podcast. This has been the lockdown series. Please follow government advice guidelines. Stay at home, save lives, help Lewis out a lot. I mean the NHS. And yeah, hopefully we can all get through this and come out the other side and get back to our friends and family.
Like High School Musical, isn't it? We're all in this together. Yes, no, sorry. Maybe I'm making too light of it.
End on a musical number. Love it.
Yeah.
No, so and condolences if you are going through a terrible time in a minute. But, so yes, that's me. My name's Joel Wright, host and editor of the show. You can find me at Depressed Monkey or at Devon Dice UK.
And I've been Lewis Jones. Yeah, I'm give me a chance, guys. Just take a breath.
Your delay was too long, mate. Come on.
and I've been Lewis Jones. You can find me on Twitter at @the_brewery tour, which I sometimes go on, maybe.
Yeah, I think your wife's been posting more than you have at the minute.
She does. Yeah. I'm terrible with social media. I don't even have Facebook. I just don't. I don't know. Send me an email or something. I don't know. Tell Joel. Tell Joel and Joel tell me. Tell Joel and Joel tell me.
And this has been another excellent Devon Dice podcast. See you
Letter.
later.
Letter.
You sent him a letter.